I don't know what is not even.
I'm petty.
Members of the San Antonio Neighborhood Safety Coalition have listened to more than 800 residents of the San Antonio neighborhood. We know that neighborhood safety is an asset that promotes well-being for children, youth, adults, and seniors. We've examined crime data for our neighborhood, and we have met with public officials to understand the policies and resources that might improve safety in the San Antonio neighborhood.
Good morning. My name is Yolanda Monroe. I am a parent leader with the PAR team. In March and April, we listened to 60 families with young children from San Antonio neighborhood. We heard that children are traumatized by witnessing violence, including shootings, assaults, hit-and-run accidents. Parents feel that their children's innocence is being stolen by exposure to prostitution. Most parents keep their children inside due to the safety concerns.
When EBAYC knocked on doors on East 15th Street, we learned that residents feel the city of Oakland has given up. Word has spread among sex traffickers that anything goes in our neighborhood, and every day their actions become more brazen and more violent. There are no consequences for breaking the law here.
Oakland has been identified since the early 2000s as a hub for the exploitation of underage girls. Sex trafficking in the Oakland is centered here in the San Antonio neighborhood, where we sit on what is called the Blade. On the same weekend that Dennis Lily Wu was killed 12 blocks from here, a woman who was being trafficked for sex was murdered right here on 17th Avenue. There was a well-deserved outcry over the murder of Dr. Wu, and we all saw her photo and the young woman who was murdered here the same weekend. The people who lived nearby heard her cry out for help. They heard the gunshots, but to the world, she is nameless and faceless, as if she doesn't matter, as if this neighborhood doesn't matter, where we're not willing to be nameless and faceless anymore. The women who are being trafficked here matter. The unhoused matter. Our parks matter. The people who live and work and go to school in the San Antonio neighborhood matter.
Good morning. My name is Gianna Tran. I'm here today not just as a long-time staff member of EBAYC, but also a former resident that have family living on East 15 for 30 years. Our home is right around the corner from here. For most of their lives, my parents lived with child sex trafficking right in front of their own home. But guess what? Most of the time, they're not afraid of the ladies walking on the street, because those ladies, they look like they're 14 years old, 15 years old, 16 years old. They look like they could be our sister, our daughters, our granddaughters. They're not afraid of the ladies. But guess what they are afraid of? They're afraid of the John driving slowly in the car on East 15 on Marine Way right here. They're afraid of the window being rolled down. They're afraid of the weapons and the violence hiding in the cars. That is their lives for almost 30 years living on East 15. The problem doesn't stop here. In the last 12 months, EBAYC lost 3 youth participants to gun violence. These are 3 young men ranging from age 16 to 18 years old. All 3 homicides occurred right here in San Antonio neighborhood, around 20 blocks away from here. And let me ask everybody in the audience right now, we refuse to be a community of fear. Is that right? Yes. We refuse to be a community of fear. Yes. We refuse to be a community of silence. Yes. We refuse to be a community of silence again. Yes. We are speaking up now, and this is what we want to tell you. This is our guiding principle. The City of Oakland and Alameda County must establish sex trafficking as a top public safety priority. We recognize that the women and the girls selling sex in our neighborhood are being trafficked and exploited. They must not be further victimized and criminalized because these are kids walking the street. 14, 15, 16-year-old kid walking in the street, working after school program. So this is our proposal. We want the City of Oakland, the County of Alameda to work together to implement the following 4 proposals. Proposal number 1, close East 15th Street to non-resident car traffic and place street signage in multiple languages throughout East 15th Street to deter buyers. Proposal number 2, deploy regular ongoing OPD patrol all hours to target buyers in their car. Third proposal, increase investment in our gender-based violence intervention, including the creation of safety zone, street outreach, and case management education and training and town night. And finally, establish human trafficking, child sex trafficking as a top public safety priority in Oakland and Alameda County.
Thank you very much. Yes, I would be very honored to work with you to ensure that we are systematically cracking down on the sex trafficking and the abuses that have come with it.
Your proposal, absolutely support that. I believe my Aunt Rosario used to live in 15th and 18th Street. 20 years ago, I used to come and visit her. This was absolutely totally different than what it is today. The reality is that we have created an environment in Oakland that people come to Oakland to do things that other cities don't allow them to do anywhere else. I'm going to promise you again, I'm not going to resolve all the problems of Oakland, but I can guarantee you that I'm going to resolve you. I'm going to stop what's happening in East 15 and what's happening to Oakland, period.
So yes, on the 4 items that you mentioned, and we have to ensure absolute accountability.
The problem with our youth and families feeling safe to walk because of homelessness is growing. It is our obligation to keep our community safe. I am speaking up today to let you know we have 3 guiding principles in regard to homelessness. 1, homelessness and the existence of encampments cannot be accepted as normal or flexible. The city and county have to be responsible for maintaining a safe and sanitary environment for those living in encampments, as well as for nearby residents and businesses, while seeking and implementing longer-term solutions. For us, a successful city/county collaboration on homelessness will result in the elimination of encampments, with all encampment residents transition into permanent housing that meets their needs. Supervisors, I am asking you here today, if elected, will you work with us to create and implement this package?
It's not enough that we are just up here speaking words. It's about action. How can we expect to get people off the street if we actually don't have people in the streets trying to get them into temporary housing, transitional housing, and then permanent housing with the intention of getting them into jobs or wraparound services and care, like substance abuse care, mental health care? We have to make sure that we are intentional. So absolutely yes.
It's about what we do and how we deliver and implement on that.
As your elected and appointed officials, we are your community servants. We have an obligation to keep you safe, to keep the streets safe. And we need to be present. We need to listen more. And yes to homeless, yes to case management workers, yes to transitional housing, yes to making sure we have performance and evaluation, yes to all of the issues that we need to address. So the city and the county have a partnership and we are part of a continuum. And the county's role is to make sure that we have what's called coordinated entry system. We are the ones and the county that will provide the case manager. So I support having W funding to go toward the case management.
We need to acknowledge that the county controls most of the money, that the Oakland City Council, including our president, Nikki Bass, voted to ask the county to create a joint city-county committee on homelessness, and the county said no. And as county supervisor, I will fix that on day one. We will launch that city-county collaboration on homelessness. We need to open new facilities, including use publicly owned land. I would be very honored to work with you to implement your entire proposal. Thank you so much.
I just want to shift a little to talk about what are the things that we do have in our community? What's our power? What's our asset? Because that's a really important part of safety too. And I just want to look out here at all of our amazing humans who live here, who are the San Antonio community, and just shout out this, us, you all. Yeah, this is a big turnout on a cold and cloudy Saturday afternoons. Another one of our huge neighborhood assets, if you look over that tent, is right over there, a block down. It's San Antonio Park, and it is the oldest and biggest park in Oakland. It is central to our neighborhood, but it has not received any major public investment in the last several decades. The community shaped a vision of a safe, vibrant, and activated San Antonio Park, which can act as a safe haven for residents of all ages and a hub for programs and services from which positive change can radiate to the rest of the neighborhood. By transforming San Antonio Park, we can transform our neighborhood. Mayoral candidates, because this is a city issue. If elected, will you work with us to ensure that a library and community center in San Antonio Park is built, that important park renovations are completed within 2 years, and long-term and mutually accountable partnerships between neighborhood organizations and Oakland Parks and Rec and Youth Development and Oakland Public Works are established expeditiously?
I do support the call to action to make sure that San Antonio Park is activated, that we build those things that have been envisioned by the community, asked for that community, the library, the rec center, and all of those resources that allow our kids to thrive.
Because I believe that to transform neighborhoods, you need projects like the San Antonio Park. So I'm absolutely committed to your plan and project.
More site and case managers. That means more jobs filled within the city and more jobs for y'all in the community. That's what we're asking for. We want OPW to do their job, for vacancies to be filled, for a mayor to come in and really put the smackdown on the department to say, we need our streets clean. Go do it, y'all. We're gonna pay y'all a livable wage to go do that, okay? We want to close East 15th Street to everyone but residents, all right, as a measure to immediately have some impact. We want targeted enforcement of Johns, all right? So it's sophisticated there. You see what's happening, right? We don't want suppression off everybody. We want there to be management of the police department so they are doing their jobs in the way that we are requesting them to do their jobs, hitting violent crime. We don't want to hear defunding, refunding the police. We want the resources that are already there to be used and management to handle that. That's what we elect y'all for, okay? That's what we heard. We heard about safety zones. We heard about mental health resources. We heard about joy at San Antonio Park. We want a library and a community center, y'all. We cannot be led by fear. What we want to be led by is joy and grace and beauty.